Good evening, everyone. Let's wait for 3 more minutes to others to join, and Robin also going to join. Hello, good evening, everyone. So we have Robin today, so he's going to take a session. Radhika, can you make Robin as a co-host?
Shall we start or should we wait for a few minutes?
Uh, I think we can start, Robin. So,
Okay.
So if you are not a co-host, you can share PPT, Robin. I can download and I can share from my screen.
I've just sent the request, just one moment.
Yeah, I gave access.
Okay. So what we are going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about the system where we do a lot of research, and we will try to understand some slightly maybe complex topics. You would have heard about some of these things in your school textbooks, but let's try to take an example from somewhere near us. Okay. Um, and this is the Western Ghats. And the example that I'm going to talk to you about is this place called the Sky Islands. Okay. Has any of you heard about a Sky Island? You can do thumbs up, or you can, yeah. Okay, that's amazing. Some of you have heard about what is a Sky Island. I'm sure everybody's heard about an island, right? So, Sky Island is a slightly kind of a nuanced way of describing an island, but it's not ocean. Okay, that separates the island. So let me just try to find just a moment. All right. Yeah. So you can see this screen, right? Yeah. So this is an experiment. This is something that I've worked along with this amazing team of illustrators at this company called Wonder Yonder. Okay, and their idea is to take science out and popularize it. And they decided to pick on the Sky Islands as one of their projects. So I'm going to use their site, um, and I'm going to try and explain what is a Sky Island. Okay. So here you can see this illustration. Uh, i- in case it's not visible, you have to tell me, someone has to tell me. Okay. Okay. So it's self-explanatory. Do you want to visit a sky island? So I so in this case, island is not made from you know land separated by water, but it's actually they are up in the sky. So that's why you see the clouds. So these mountain tops are isolated from each other because the lower elevations actually have much warmer habitats. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Robin, we can hear you. And
Okay.
you can make much elaborate, like green one you can.
What is that?
Yeah, you can make a big one, like big screen.
Oh, it's not big, is it?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Is it big now?
Yes, 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 Robin.
Okay, okay, okay. That's strange. Yeah. Yeah. So so yeah, that's this is what a sky island is. It's an island in the sky. Yeah. And how is that possible? That's what we are going to talk about today. So these are mountain tops that are geographically isolated, and these are like these tops of mountains. Yeah. And the valleys have different uh, kind of habitat, temperature. So they're separated by clouds. They're also called cloud forests. So in many places, you'll hear of something called tropical montane cloud forests. Okay, so tropical is tropical, which you know. Montane means off the mountain. So on mountains, there are these particular habitats. And then you have cloud forests. So that means the clouds are always draping these mountains. There's always clouds around it. And clouds actually carry a lot of water. This, again, you must have learned in some section of your um, school, right? And when these clouds hit the mountains, it gets really wet, and water comes from it, even if there's no rain. Okay, and if you zoom into one of the sky islands, especially in the Shola, what you find is a mosaic where you have grassland and forests. So you have both habitats on these mountain tops, and it forms this mosaic that's like that. And this matrix that is called Shola. Yeah. And yeah, it has a Tamil origin, but that's not super important. Yeah. So if you go, this is the Western Ghats and the Nilgiris, which is Uti. I'm sure many of you have heard of this place called Uti, and that's what it would look like if you went to Uti. So this is Mukurti National Park, and you can click on this yellow dot, and you'll see some photos. Yeah, and you can see it on your if you have a screen wherever you're looking at it. This one's called a rhododendron. It has this bright red color flowers. Yeah, and it's always at the edge of the forest, or it's found in the grassland. So it's not a forest tree, but it's associated with grassland, but at the edges. So it looks like this. Yeah. So sky islands have this. I was telling you how there's water which is kind of stuck to these mountains, and it's also colder if you've been to Uti. How many of you have been to Uti? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, it can be Uti, it can be Munnar, it can be Kodaikanal. Okay, any of the South Indian mountains. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. Quite a few of you. Yeah, and it gets cold, right? Yeah, yeah, okay. So it gets cold, and if you are going anytime now in June, June, July, well, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, any of these months, it's cold and it's wet. So it's cold and wet for a large part of the year. And that's why you have certain species that live only on the top of these mountains. And at the bottom, you have species that are adapted to warmer habitats and more dry kind of habitats. So that's how these become islands. Okay, you have cold and wet on the top, and it's separated from other cold and wet at the bottom. Yeah, so that's how it looks like. So this is your sky island. It's draped, it's wet, and it's separated from each other. Yeah. So this physical separation, what is really cool is that it makes this unique habitat, which is what we were talking about. But you can imagine that the species that live on this, they are very, very specialized to some of these habitats. Okay. But this isolation, so you would think that, birds can fly. What's the big deal? And if you have a project and you're trying to kind of take a photo of a bird, you would have seen, yeah, they just fly and they go somewhere else, like really far away. So you would think that all the birds can fly and cross these mountains. It's very common, right? People say fly like a bird and go everywhere, be free. All of those things are said. But in reality, actually, that's not how all the birds fly. Some birds do fly like that, but many of them fly like a helicopter. It's clamped to the ground. It doesn't fly like a plane or a rocket. There are many things that we build which fly very differently. So there are birds that fly straight from one mountain to the other. It's possible, but most birds, many passerine birds, especially understory birds, understory means they're found at the bottom of the forest. They actually follow the contour. So if the mountain's going down, they go down, and the mountain's going up, they go up. Yeah, like that's how a lot of helicopter flight is as well. They follow the contour. Yeah. So, so what happens in isolation? That is the question that we had, and we've been asking for, I think, 25 years now. Um, so yeah, so many plants and animals, they have, if you have an island and there's water, you know that there is a border. But what about things that are on the mountains? And we already told you that these mountain tops are wet all year long and they get the water directly from clouds. It need not rain. Okay, so if you've gone and stayed in Uti or something like that, especially in the summers, you'll notice that when you wake up in the morning, uh, if there's a small, you take a walk anywhere and there'll be a stream, and you'll wonder where the stream is coming from because you're at the top of the mountain and it did not rain, right? So that's where the water is coming from. It's coming from the clouds directly hitting the mountains. So the plants and animals are adapted to that, and that's why they'll fly, but they don't kind of cross this Lakshman Rekha, let's say. Yeah. Yeah, that's an evolutionary Lakshman Rekha, by the way. Nobody told them to stay there. Yeah. Okay. So when plants and animals, they live isolated for a long time, in a place, they're kind of adapted to that environment. And so basically, they're not moving across the mountains, I mean, through the valleys. So what happens, right? They get isolated. And as they get isolated more and more, um, they can kind of turn into completely different species. So you can click this and you'll see basically this animation is to show you that the color is changing, right? And that is just an indicator that there's something that changes physically or genetically. And this is not happening quickly, it's happening over millions of years. Yeah. So there's this example of this uh, gecko called Hemiphilodactylus. Okay, it lives on different mountaintops. And guess what happened? Yeah. Over times, these geckos, they developed certain physical and genetic kind of characters. And let's click this. Yeah. They became slightly different on each of these mountains. You can actually click on these dots again and it will show you the photos. They're the same group, but you can see that they are a little different, right? I mean, some of them look kind of similar, but some of them do look different. Does this one have? Yeah, this also has. Yeah. and they become different species after a long time. And this kind of process is called adaptive radiation. So, adaptive radiation is when there's one species that comes in, and then it kind of becomes very different across different places. Have you all studied adaptive radiation? Any example that you have studied in school? You can unmute or and say, or you can type in text. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, sir, we studied about the annals, right, sir? Sir, is it the same as this?
Oh, well done. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's from this class. Yeah, I mean, that's from our module,
Yes.
but very similar. But in your school textbook, have you not studied adaptive radiation?
Mm,
No?
no, I don't think so.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Sorry. Can you still see? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Can you still see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, you will at some point you will read about Darwin's finches. Yeah. You can let me just type this there.
So are
Darwin.
they examples of adaptive radiation?
That's right.
And then what is speciation?
Speciation is a process where new species come about, but it's exactly this. Yeah.
So, so
So
this is
anything.
also speciation.
Yes, this is
Okay.
species. So adaptive radiation is a kind of speciation, but it is like you can think of it as let's say if you take a tree like a coconut tree that grows straight, and all the fruits are just right there, right? Yeah. So that's just a single, it's a single source. But you can think of a mango tree where you have it's growing out, and then there are different branches coming out, and mangoes are on different branches, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So something very similar happens with speciation also. Both are fruiting, and in this case, speciation is also happening. But it's just that from one source, one species arose, that is a coconut tree, as opposed to one species came and it kind of went to different mountains like this and got isolated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see, like, think of a mango tree or think of Shola Sky Islands. Yeah. So that's adaptive radiation. It has to come from one source. The key part is that it has to come from one thing and then it goes to different mountains. Yeah. And it's isolated for a long time, becomes, you know, fruits over there. Yeah. Different, becomes different species over there. And that's what it is.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. This is a book you can read if you're interested. Beak of the Finch. Yeah, it's a nice one. You can also look up HHMI. Harisha, do we do Finch exercise on HHMI?
No, we have,
Only the Anol we did, right?
yeah, no, we did, but it video is available.
Yeah. So if you Google on HHMI Beak of the Finch, you will get a very nice YouTube video with a story of what happened with the finches and so on. It's a little, yeah. You can watch it. It's definitely, but there will be questions that will come up, and you may not understand them until you understand the concepts. But that's okay. At least you'll know the story.
Yes, sir. I'll look at it.
Very good. Yeah. Okay. So we'll move on. So that's adaptive radiation. Yeah. And so this group of birds called Sholicola or Sholakili, that's a common name. This is a bird that lives on the Sky Islands. And this is the bird that I've worked on for the last 25 years. And well, I first started looking at these birds when I just finished my master's. And people didn't think it was a common bird. So I went looking for it and I found it on a mountain, on one of these mountain tops, actually at Munnar. And people didn't know where it was found. So I looked for them on other mountains. And only when I climbed up the mountain and got somewhere, I found the bird. And slowly, then the idea of Sky Islands, became clear because these birds were only found on the tops of the mountain. But I walked almost 500 or 600 kilometers on along the Western Ghats, all across the Western Ghats, before I realized that they're only on the top of the mountains. Yeah. So today you don't have to walk 500 kilometers. You just go for a holiday with your parents to Uti or Munnar, and any forest patch that you pick, you'll find this bird. Yeah. Okay. So these birds, Sholikula, they are found on different sky islands. Sometimes they look the same. Okay. But they have genetically changed. And this is something called genetic drift. So it's just basically you're just separating two organisms and they are changing over time, and they just coincidentally or through random processes end up changing. And how did we find out? Because we collected a small drop of blood to get their DNA sequence. And let's see. So they have these sequences, the DNA sequences, and you can compare them. You can say, okay, there is one base that is different from the other. See, this pink and pink are the same, but this is different, and so on, right? So once you get these sequences of these birds from different mountains and compare the gene sequences, you actually know that they are different species. So this is what I did. So when I was going to these mountains, actually everybody thought they're the same species. And I was not very sure, and that was because uh, I was also listening to their songs, to their sounds, and the sounds are slightly different. So anyway, long story short, I got blood samples from these birds. They looked the same, but when I compared the DNA, it turned out that they were isolated by for 5 million years. Okay, so that's a really long time. Yeah. So yeah, so genetic drift is like I was telling you, it's just random changes in the gene. It causes variation, and it need not be that there is any adaptation. So this is different from adaptation. Okay, so genetic drift. All right. So isolation can then have these fascinating outcomes. Something else that happens is that we know that birds sing. Yeah. Sharada, go ahead.
You told the genetic isolation happens like a million years they were isolated, and yet
Mm-hmm.
like they look very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So does
Yeah.
it work a similar way with humans also? Because like you find your
Yeah.
lookalike, like he looks exactly like you, but like
Mm.
you guys are
Good.
isolated for
Good
many years.
question. Good
Is that
question.
similar?
Yeah. It's a good question. It's not similar, but let me take a slightly long approach to answering that. Okay. First thing is that humans actually, the Homo sapiens, however you look at it, it's probably not evolved before 2 million years. Okay. And there were other Homo species that were there. Homo erectus, you've heard of Neanderthal man, and so on, right? So they were there a couple of million years back. So that those are different species. When you say there is a look-alike, that's actually within the same species. But what we are talking about is another species altogether that looks like you. So imagine that, imagine how different that has to be, right? You understand what I'm
So you're
saying?
saying that there can be a chimpanzee that looks
Yeah, the
so
chimpanzee that
like
looks
here
like
you're
you. That is more like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're getting it.
yeah.
You're getting it, right?
Uh,
Yeah. So let's take a common example. So you can say there's like dosa, okay? And then
yeah.
you have uttapam. Yeah, they're kind of similar, right? It's the same kind of dough. Do you know dosa and uttapam? Anybody who doesn't know
Yeah.
dosa and uttapam? Yeah. I think these days it's kind of common everywhere. So I'm just going with it, okay? But you can also have the crepe. Have you anybody heard of the French crepe? CREPE? Yeah, you can Google
Well,
it. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure some of you have heard of crepe. And that looks just like a dosa. But actually, it's not related to the dosa at all. It's actually something else altogether. Yeah. It tastes different. It's made differently. But superficially, it looks the same. And that is what we are talking about. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You kind of get what I'm saying, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Don't quote me to my colleagues. They're going to kill me. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. All right. So we were saying that isolation um, can, there are a lot of birds that sing, and these birds actually have some signatures when they sing. And what happens is that when they use this to communicate with each other, and the sholakilis, they live in the forest. It's a dense dark forest. They probably can't see each other also, but they are communicating with each other with these really beautiful elaborate songs. Okay. That is a good point. This doesn't have a song. Yeah, I'll remind them. And over time, what has happened is that these songs on isolated mountains have become very different. Okay. So in Uti and Kodaikanal, which are separated by the Palghat Gap, yeah, or you can think of Uti and Munnar, they have very different songs. So here's an example. Oh, they do have songs. Yeah. Let me play this for you. It's really cool. Yeah. So this is, I think, an Uti song.
Robin,
You can't hear it.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
audible.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You'll have
I'll
to play it on your own because I should have done that before sharing. I have to share audio. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Mm, no, it's complicated. I'll leave it at that. Um, yeah, I have to share. I have to share audio right at the start. But anyway, you can play this, and you'll make out, or maybe you won't, that the sounds are slightly different. It's a little bit like the dosa and crepe. Okay. I don't know if you're not very familiar. It might be like dosa and uttapam. But for an expert, it's like dosa and crepe. All right. So that's what happened to me. The first time I spent weeks trying to listen to this bird, I recorded it, and then I went across. I went to Uti, and I saw the bird, and I heard it sing, and I was like, "This is not the same." So I played the song back. I had the recording, and it did not respond. So I knew that there was something off. Yeah. So this is actually called cultural evolution. Okay. Individuals actually learn from each other, but sometimes they make some small differences. And when that happens over time, they're learning from each other. It's not a genetic difference. Yeah. The way to look at cultural evolution is, it's like people in different parts of, let's say, take a North Indian example now. Let's say if you're in UP, your Hindi has a particular accent. But if you're in Bombay, then your Hindi has a slightly different accent. And some of you who know both these accents, you hear someone from Bombay and you say, this guy is from Bombay, this other person's from UP, right? And you know this because there are these dialects. And you can take someone from UP and they grow up in Mumbai, they're going to speak Mumbai Hindi, right? That doesn't mean they're genetically different. They are just culturally, they are just learning from the environment. Yeah, Sharda.
Sir, is it basically like spreading like suppose some news happened? Is this a funny example? Like something happened,
Yeah, yeah.
like in Chinese whisper, like they say the
Chinese whisper.
same thing to many people, and then in the end, the whole thing is totally different. Is it
Yeah.
something like that?
Yes, yes. It's a little bit like that. But what information, that is how information is passed. Okay. So you have to remember the concept more than the exact example here. Uh, Even in songs, it's some information that is passed. Now, what we're trying to say is that the information gets modified as it is passed. But the concept is kind of similar, and that it changes. The key element for this presentation, what we are talking about, is that there is social learning, that people are learning from each other, from neighbors. It's not genetic. Yeah. So genetic is when something is learned from parents and the child sounds just like the parent. Okay. So it will pass on through genetic this thing. Yeah. So these events like adaptation, drift, cultural evolution, they make species very unique, especially on these like these mountaintops. And these are what are called endemic species. Yeah. Endemics are the ones that are found nowhere else. It's only found at some particular location. And here are some endemics that are mostly found in the Western Ghat in the Shola Sky Islands. This bird, the dull brownish bird, is called the Nilgiri pipit. Okay. And yeah, we should have a clickable thing there. And the one below is Nilgiri martin. And then, of course, the Sholicola that we all talked about. And this is the Nilgiri tar. Okay. Um, so So that's that. And of course, this is the Neela Kurunji, So yeah, so I hope you'll understood a little bit about how isolation works, how species are created because of isolation. But we also discussed that it's not just speciation and genetic change, but isolation can also cause cultural differences. Yeah. And actually, dosa and crepe is probably more that. Any questions before I hand over to Harisha? Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Sir, when you say the song of the birds is different after they separate into different species, does that mean only the pitch is different or the combination of notes they use
Ah,
is different?
oh my God, you are ready for a PhD. Yes. So this is exactly the kind of questions researchers ask. First, they start looking at these pitch and things like that, and then they start wondering: is it just that, or is that information actually different? And in fact, one PhD student in my group has just done that just now, and she finds that actually the combinations are different as well. So, good question.
Thank you, sir. So the pitch is also different.
The
Or
pitch is also different. Yeah. In this case, yeah.
okay, sir.
But
So
I'll tell you something a little bit deeper since you asked. Okay. In general, in birds, pitch changes fairly quickly.
yes,
Okay. But combinations don't change that quickly. So the way to look at it is, uh, noise pollution. So noise pollution often changes the bird's pitch. It changes the frequency because birds are quickly able to adapt and they change their frequency. Yeah, but they don't change the combination of their notes. That changes only over evolutionary time. It doesn't change rapidly.
So why does it happen like that?
Why does it happen like that? That some things change and some things don't change? Is that the
Yeah.
question? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a even bigger question. I mean, are you sure you guys are in school? Because these are really research questions. But there are people who are asking these questions. Um, and I should say that there are different kinds of birds. Okay, there are if you look at the whole tree of life, all the birds that are there are some birds that learn songs only in a very small critical window. And in that window of time, they are learning from their parents, they're learning from the neighbors, and then it just crystallizes, which means that they will pretty much, that's the same call that they will have all through. But there are other group of birds. They are called open-ended learners. It doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. But they learn all through their lives, and they actually have a lot of variability just because of this. So there's a lot of research that goes on to understand why that is like that. But we know that it is connected to the brain. So there is also evolutionary origin of these birds. Some of these birds in the Americas are all they have these, what we said, fixed songs. But in the tropical and these sites, the songs are more variable. They are open-ended learners. So there are these two groups of species that are there. People are trying to figure this out. So something connected to the brain for sure.
Okay, sir. Like because the combination of notes and pitch should change based on what information they're conveying, right? So it'll be hard to differentiate between are the songs completely different?
Yeah. So now I think you're kind of getting into slightly more complicated territory because, yeah, we can't assume information is passed on the same way
Yeah.
in humans as in these other birds. In fact, they may have different ways of communicating. We know that they have some alarm calls, some social contact calls, and so on. Um, so information is encoded differently. So the way the combinations change, it's slightly tricky to assume it works the same way as human alphabets and things like that. Yeah, but one way to
Okay.
think about it is again, if you think of alphabets, so some of these Indo-Germanic languages like English and all that, English, German, French, they have the same alphabets, but the way you combine them actually results in very different meanings, right? Very different words. So that is how the language changes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Any other question?
Sir,
Sharda?
I have a very what if random question. It's a very random, but
Yeah.
like I'm just curious. Okay, it's a very curious question.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually this theory called like the infinite box theory. So basically, like just suppose you put chimpanzees into a room for like infinite amount of time, it will take them after a point of time they'll start to learn English and they'll actually be able to write
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare English. So what if,
That's theoretical. What you're
yeah,
saying is theory.
theoretically,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
theoretically, what if we put birds like into similar species of them, put them in
Mm-hmm.
the same box, and see if they sing similar to the tone of the original species,
Mm-hmm.
like humans
Yeah.
and one bird species and another bird species that are similar.
Yeah. Do you know how much time apart humans and chimpanzees have separated?
I don't know.
It's a couple of million years. And these birds have been separated for 5 million years. Yeah. So, what are the length of time that they have to go through before they learn? I don't know when the chimpanzee would learn Shakespeare in English, even in that theoretical model. But I think that some of those, in ecology, there's something called natural experiments. Okay, the way to do that is look for natural systems where things are in that frame that you want to see. So what I'm trying to say is look for birds that are isolated from each other at smaller and smaller time periods and see what is different. So find populations that are maybe only a few hundred years isolated, some that are a million years isolated, some that are 2 million, and then some that are 5 million, and see what is different, right? And then you can get an idea of how these things change. So this looking for natural systems rather than creating like randomized control trials where you actually take something and create an experiment, you'll have to wait a really long time.
Yeah, I don't like to wait. Life
Yeah,
is short.
yeah. Good. All right. So if there are no other questions, I'll hand over to Harisha.
Sir, one last question.
Yeah, sure.
Just completely off topic. Okay, it's a very
Yeah,
short question. So, do you
yeah,
listen to Michael Jackson?
yeah. I mean, my question is, I don't know how you listen to Michael Jackson, but anyway,
Sir,
yeah,
he's my favorite artist, sir.
yeah. Okay. I thought your generation won't even know what is Michael Jackson.
Sir,
But
what is it, sir?
yeah. All
Sir,
right,
did
all
you
right.
see the
Go ahead,
movie?
Shata. Yeah.
Did you see the movie?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yay. So, Jafar did really well, sir.
Okay. I thought there's a question coming in all of this. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. I was just
Oh,
curious.
yeah. Sure. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Shazam. Over to Harisha.
Yeah, thanks, Robin. So you made me very easy to move to the next session. So it is about storytelling. So Robin now shared about our lab story. So it's a way of storytelling. So thank you, Robin. So I will share my screen now. It's just like a fun activity because of this is the last session. So after this activity, you can mail your outcomes. So because we can have a short time in 10 minutes, I will finish like what I want to talk. So afterwards, you can mail thing. So now answer me what mean by a story. You can raise your hands and like you can unmute yourself and you can tell what mean by a story. Yeah, Sharada.
It's a form of expression where words are mostly used. Like, you tell something or experience. It's form of expression and experience which is verbally told to another person.
Okay, told to another person. So okay, any other answers? Okay, I will move to the next question. So what makes this story so important to humans?
To know about the history and all the things happened or like the imaginary things.
Okay, Meenakshi, you can unmute.
Uh, like to know about the history or the things which happen or some fantasies which people want to share about.
Okay, why we should share stories?
To let them know how we feel or how something had happened in the past and
Okay,
they can learn the things.
okay, why should we know about our past?
It's to know how the life works and all how
Okay,
something
it's
has.
kind of like sharing knowledge and lesson to the next generation, or like, yeah, it's way of sharing knowledge to next generation. So, how do you think like stories are evolved?
So when they're passed on from generation to generation to generation,
Mm.
each and every person will add their own twist.
Oh,
Something changed.
okay. I mean, like how initially stories are evolved, why they are evolved, kind of thing.
So because some people they like to add their own to make it more dramatic, to add more drama.
I mean, why you need dramatic things?
People like dramatic things. People like drama. People like entertainment.
Okay. So Robin just now shared the story of Shola Islands, especially white-bellied Shola Kili. So why would this bird sings?
So to communicate.
Yeah, to communicate. Okay, what like stories communicate to us?
Huh?
Why
What?
they evolved.
Sir, can you please repeat your question?
So why stories are evolved? So what is the intention of stories?
The people try to, like tell someone something which they only believe or which they experience, not from the past or not what they have heard from different people.
Okay. So if anything which evolved like around us, like it has a survival capability in once upon a time. Like actually stories evolved when communication is beginning in like humans. So they want to share knowledge to the next generations. So then they started making up the stories. I give an scenario where, so we are the hunter and gatherers. So just now, like we are the nomads. Suddenly, like over a period of time, we started living at one place as a community. So then language is evolved. So we started communicating with like words. So then the elder person in a like small community, you want to share knowledge like how to hunt, where the food source is. So instead of like telling like go this direction, he started building own stories. So maybe in after like evening, so they sat together around the fire, and like elder person, the elders, they started sharing how they went for hunting, so how they captured the kill the predator. So like that they want to share the knowledge about everything, and like how to hunt, kind of like one is like transferring the knowledge and like transferring the skill also. So they adopted stories as the mechanism. So whatever you see currently, like books, novels, like currently Robin shared his lab experience in a story form. Like science communication is also a form of like storytelling. If you see any movies, like web series, and everything what you see is it's kind of like storytelling. So the form of storytelling is changed from like verbal, then poetry came. So they started poetry came like in poetic form. They started like sharing knowledge. So then books came. So then like it began to write written form. So now we have a visual communication. Through visual communication, we started like sharing these stories. It means stories are like important, crucial part of like human life in evolution. They help them to like survive. So that's why from human evolution, like when we started communicating, so from that point of time, like stories are like changing their forms, and they're still continuing in our life. So, like how, if you see like grammatical, like illustration representation of Shola Island story, it is very appealing. Instead, like suppose if I say stories in like in verbal form, so if you have in illustration form, it like conveys you better, like more appealing. Suppose same thing is like made into a documentary, like some people may appreciate. So some people like happy to read like Shola stories in a written form. Like if it is in a story, you can get your own imagination instead of documentary. Like that, like stories have different form. So because of lack of time, I'm moving ahead. So like if you see any story, it follows the following like themes. So following like formula, I can say. So every story has a one theme, multiple themes, like it has a theme. So then every story has a one hero. I'm saying like it like traditional story. It has a hero who is the main character. Then antagonistic character will be there in every story. And like problem comes. When problem is like more problems, like problem is very big, the character of hero will be like grows very big. So more problems, like hero is much more stronger. And like during this process, supportive characters will come to help you in the kind of for hero like come out of that situation. So then I build a one game. So there is a random elements in a story which sometimes make sense or sometimes don't make any sense. And like magic power, so this game it's kind of like a game I developed. So kids and everyone's loves magic. So especially if you've seen Dungeons and Dragons, Harry Potter series, everyone's love magic. And like every story has an end. So this is the like standard formula of a story writing or storytelling. Every story has like its thing. If you see like a Robin's today's talk, it's like theme is it's about like Shola Islands, and like hero is like white-bellied Shola Kili, who is like villain is like problem it is facing in this Shola forest. Then like supportive characters, so you can take as a researchers. So hint it has like still evolving its kind of thing. So it has like one formula, like one important character will be this, and problem comes that solving, and there is a end. So end can be anything. So I will ask you to write a story which related to biodiversity and ecology. Can you write it?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. So, but everyone can write a story.
Their own way they can write, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, one thing you forgot in the
I
story.
mean, there are like if you are like very enthusiastic. Yeah, you can write story, but not everyone can write a story. If you ask you immediately, suppose I will give in a formula, so where you can write a story. So now like your theme should like for story writing, like your theme should be like wait 1 minute. So for you, like a theme should be sorry, sorry. So it should be theme is like biodiversity ecology. So you should be write a story which related to biodiversity or ecology. So now I will ask you to generate like 7-digit random number and like a write down. So once you're done, like just you can write down like 1 to 9, 7-digit number, or like you can use Google or ChatGPT to generate a 7-digit random number.
Where should we do this?
Yeah, on paper or like any device or like anything. So you have to write a story. For that, like I will give in a formula. Like you have to
Is it
select a,
compulsory that we need to write? Or
yeah, you need to write a story, but you can send that story later. But I will give you different characters. So for that, like selecting the characters, you need a number.
Sir, does this work with every story you want to create, like any story? Yes.
No, like story should be theme should be biodiversity and ecology,
Okay.
and
No,
like
sir, it's a formula. Does the formula, can it work
I
for
will give you a formula. So before that, you have to generate 7-digit random number. Or like you can write down like seven random numbers, like 1 to 9.
Sir, you forgot one main element in the story, sir.
Yeah, I will tell you like different elements.
No, no, sir. You forgot that one Ajji or auntie who will come in the middle and make the fire worse, problem bigger.
Yeah, I will give those problems also.
Sir, you forgot that main Ajji, sir.
Okay, I will include it. Yeah, I mean, have you generated like 7-digit random number? Like you can take like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 8, 9, like that, like 7-digit random number. Done? You can give a thumbs up or something. Yeah, I think few people are done. Just like 7-digit number, anything it should be. That's fine. So now, like you have a first number, right? Like you return like 7-digit number. So select the one character like which has like corresponding to that number. Farmer is like 1, forest officer is the 2, politician is 3, student is 4, like that, like up to 9. So if you like randomly return a 9 number, so your hero character should be a school connect ecology student, like you are the hero for like your story.
So,
So
so if it is letter one, then it is formal. So if it is
yeah,
letter number two,
means
it is
forest
for
officer. That is a hero for your character, like your story. So you are
first
writing
first
first
number.
number, first number. Suppose
So so if my first number is one and then one is farmer, so my hero is farmer.
yeah. Suppose like your number is like 5, like nature explorer is the hero for your story. So everyone got like your hero for your story, right? So now I'm moving to the second element. So villain or antagonistic character. So like take the number 2, like second digit in your like random number. You have a 7-digit number, right? So now you select if your digit is like second digit is like 6. So bad politician is the villain character in your story. Yeah. Hopefully you written down your villain character. So now like now you have a hero and villain, there is a problem. So it's already like it's story related to biodiversity and ecology, but like you have to bring these like problem into your story. So third digit of your random like 7-digit random number should be a problem. So either identity crisis, sudden loss, betrayal, natural disaster, failure of a plan, time pressure, shift of a goal.
For the shift of the goal, then we become different. Like we
I
do the
mean, yeah.
Sir, how is marriage issues related to ecology, sir?
I mean, like, actually, yeah, there is like so many issues will come, right?
So,
And
so
like,
most
school
of the
connect
issues.
ecology student itself a problem. Yeah, if you
So,
have
but how is
a,
it? Sir, it'll be between husband and wife, no, sir. They'll be having their own conflicts, sir. It's not directly related to ecology, no.
no, you have to bring it story. Like, you can bring those elements. Suppose like you have a laboratory experiment, like you are doing, you have a character or like housewife is the hero. She's always, husband is not supportive. So yeah, based, I mean, it's like your story. You can imagine, you can connect however you want. And like in science, marriage issues are a very major problem in science. Yeah.
The
So
so if the housewife is the main protagonist and the husband is not supportive, it'll mostly be like this. He's not helping me and not supporting me, and then it'd be a huge fight, sir.
yeah. So that is the problem. So now we have next element, supportive character. So to come out of the problem, like these characters comes and helps you in like overcome that problem. So again, like a fourth digit of your random number, like you have to select your supporting character. Hope you're done with this. Yeah. So then random element. So to bring the randomization in a story, so you can use this element. So this element you can use however you want. You can make it as a useless thing or like it's more powerful thing in your story. So it's left to you. So you can give like so many powers to this element or like you can make useless. It's left to you. I give an example. Compass can give to direction to anything you ask. So door can be open to any world or like multiverse or
Sir,
like it's left to you.
sir, is chappal included here, sir?
No, if you want, you can include.
Sir, flying chappal, sir.
Yeah,
Whoever does anything bad will come straight on their face,
yeah,
especially in these special chappal.
yeah. Anantashri, you can unmute and Meenakshi if you are in doubts.
Sir, I actually have to leave now. So can I leave and then do this activity and then send the story to you?
Sure, sure.
Link.
I mean, you have to send a story through mail. I will give my mail ID. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
I'll
then,
I'll take it and I'll write the story and send it, sir.
yes, yes, you have time. Yeah.
Sir, for
Sir,
the work,
your email, how will I get?
I will give at end.
Sir, but I have to leave now.
I mean, I
Sir.
will finish in just 1 minute. Yeah. So you got a random element.
Okay, sir.
So then, like magic, sorry.
Sir, wouldn't you can find this and sir, isn't this live streamed?
Yeah.
So wouldn't we get this thing then? Gmail.
I will give my Gmail.
Yeah,
So,
Sir, in live stream, your Gmail won't come, sir.
oh, okay.
yeah, it will come. I'll check that time.
Yeah. Sorry, this dog, something doing it. 1 minute, like I will reshare my screen. So earlier you came up to random element. So then, like your the sixth digit should be magic power. So you can communicate with mammals, animal communication. You can talk to animals. So time manipulations. You can go like time travel. So you can like shape shifting. Like you can become anyone, like any animal kind of thing. Mind magic, plant manipulations. You can heal anything. Weather control, bring back life, teleportation. So these are the all magic powers you have in your story. So this is like your fifth element. So end of the story. So you have to end your story either like a tragic ending or open ending or moral ending, twist ending, illogical ending, bittersweet or happy ending. It's left which number you will get. Like you have to end your story in that manner. So probably we got all elements which are like relate like to write a story. So you have a hero, villain, and a problem supporting character, random element, magic power, and like how to end your story. So using these elements, like you can write a story and like you can send to me through this mail ID.
Sir, do you have WhatsApp?
No, so you can send through mail.
Oh,
Yeah,
sir, so we can't message teachers through WhatsApp.
no,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
only mail communication. Yeah.
Sir, so wouldn't Robin, sir, so even if I have to send a message to other people,
Robin, yeah, actually you can get like a Robin's mail ID through School Connect. It's available, I think.
so I have a doubt about the random element.
Okay.
Uh, can we just use a word, or we need to make them work or something?
No, it's you can just like use an word or like you can make into a powerful element also. Key can open any door kind of thing. This key map can show you wherever you want kind
Like instead of giving a type of like action, just we can use it in a sentence, right?
sentence. That's also fine. Yeah, it's left to you have full freedom. But like these are the your characters, so
Is
you
it
have to write a story.
like how many words exactly should be
It's
it for
left to
the
you.
small one?
You can write a one page, or like people constructed like in one of the like storytelling live session, they made like 2 minute story. So some people I got like 10 pages story. So you can write a book also using these elements. It's left to you.
When we need to submit it, like the due date and
Yeah, by end of this day.
okay,
Yeah, so by end of this day you can mail me.
okay, sir.
Sir,
So actually, this storytelling is very important. Like whatever like profession you will do, either you are a teacher or like you do anywhere, like stories are very important. Like how you will communicate. Science communication is also science. Like storytelling is also very important. So how you like teach in your class. So that matters a lot.
sir,
Yeah, Anand.
sir, looking at the elements, can you choose or should it be only based on a number you've chosen earlier?
I mean, to bring the randomization, so I asked to generate a random number, like one or two characters you can change. I mean, left to you.
Okay, sir, because like
Yeah.
sometimes I feel that I want this one, but the number will not match. That's why.
Okay. Yeah. Like minor changes you can do. I mean, formula is same. Like every story has a hero, there is a villain, there is a problem. How it overcomes. Like same formula, like follows in every movie or every web series or like every science story. It's same formula. Maybe
Okay, sir.
some elements are missing. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, thank you everyone. So I expect at least like a few stories by end of the day. Thank
Excuse
you
me,
so
sir.
much. Yeah, Divnash.
Sir, I just had one doubt, sir. It will just take 3 minutes. Sir, I just wanted to ask because I was working on my project
Yeah.
for this course. Sir, I was just wanting to ask one question, sir. So, sir, on my biodiversity project, I'm writing some information that I know about for the species I had spotted in like those regions. Is it okay, or should I keep it more of professional and write it in mostly of a table of saying which species we found and how many individuals we had
No,
found?
it's left to you. Yeah. So if you have seen a species you want to include in your report, you can include.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask that. So I can keep both the statistical and a little bit theoretical analysis on the species that are found in those
Yeah.
areas project,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Yeah. So any doubts related to whole course you can ask because this is the last session. So yeah.
Sir, do you also listen to Michael Jackson?
No.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you everyone. So really enjoyed this course all this time, like 2 months. So all the best. Thank you. You can reach to me like through that mail ID anytime.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Bye. All the best.
All the best to you too, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.